Welcome to another session. So far, we are discussing the survey method in Unit 2. There are multiple techniques involved in the survey methods like personal interviews, observation, telephone survey, uh, questionnaire survey, etc. This survey method is used in taking opinions, attitudes in a particular area, and you can deal with a larger population uh, other than these regular ones. You can, like in a political surveys, etc., you will be using this method. So far we discussed personal interview. In personal interview there are the other techniques like individual to individual, individual to group, group to group, group to individual. You can administer these personal interviews based on the requirement, and these personal interviews can be structured and unstructured, or you can say standardized or non-standardized methods, techniques in a personal interview. And now today we will see another techniques in the survey method, that is research. Survey research, you can say. So today we will be discussing this questionnaire survey, telephone survey, and controlled observation. These techniques, and we will be closing this survey research method. So next, if you can see the questionnaire survey. The questionnaire survey is the most common, simple, versatile, low-cost, self-report method in collecting information. Yeah, questionnaire survey method, if you can see, you may have come across these methods in your personal lives, like these methods are like general examinations. Like there may be two types, but if you can see, generally we'll be dealing with the questions. Even in the personal interview also, these questions play a key role. But here, what is the difference is that, and particularly, this is really simple and low cost. Here, there may you need not to, uh, like interviewer need not to be here. The person himself can understand and respond to the questionnaire. It consists of a predetermined set of questions. Like this is a constructed manner. In a constructed manner, you will be asked to respond, and that is, you can get the opinion what type of answers you are expecting. They will be framed in a manner, and it is predetermined. The respondent has to read the questions and mark the answers on paper rather than the respond verbally to the interviewer. Here, if you can see, as I said, like it is simple and low cost because there will be less intervention, and the respondent himself can directly answer these things in a simple manner. The questions will be designed in such a way uh, that are understandable and easy to respond. Of course, nowadays it can be digital, and there are several techniques has come up for this questionnaire survey. Earlier, it is paper based. There are some ways like highly structured interviews, like as it is predetermined and there will be no assistance in the middle of the one. So maximum it is highly structured. Predetermined questions, you can say, these are highly structured interviews. The questions are framed in such a way. Questionnaires can be distributed to a group, like you can administer these questionnaires to a group at a time, and the answers to the questions can be taken at the time. And there is also another method that you can send them through mail. Mail, it is like previously it is postal. Okay, nowadays it is just an email method, and on based on SMS you can be doing it. Generally, two types of questions are used in the questionnaire, that are open-ended and closed-ended. there are two techniques in questionnaire survey, that is open-ended and closed-ended. Like in the personal interviews, like structured and non-structured, in the questionnaires, that is open-ended questionnaire and closed-ended questionnaire. With open-ended questions, the respondent is free to write whatever answer she or he considers appropriate. Here it is like giving a plain white paper and asking him a question and respond to it, like he can write whatever he feels. In the closed-ended type, the questions and their probable answers are given. Like this is like choose the correct answer. The respondent is to required to select the correct answer. This is like a choose the correct answer multiple choice method. Of course, we will be discussing the examples. So in the closed-ended, you need not to worry at all. There will be options and you have to choose what is best to that. Okay, sorry. I have, next. Examples of closed-ended interview require responses like yes, no, true, false, multiple choice, or using a rating scale. Okay, so here he has discussed like, do you did you complete the homework? There will be only one yes or no, right? Do you go to college regularly? It is also simple, yes or no. Are you a student? True or false? Yes, student, true. So in that way, you will be asked the questions like, do you like the product? How the behavior? How do you feel the environment? Like these type of psychological questions should be asked in a questionnaire, and then the correspondent answer should be selected. Multiple choice are using a rating scale. In case of rating scale, a statement is given and the respondent is asked to give her his views on a 3 point, like agreed, undecided, disagree, 5 point scale, like strongly agree, agree, undecided, disagree, strongly disagree, 7 point, 9 point, 11 point, 13 point. Like based on these type of options, like agree, disagree, yes, no, in that way the questionnaires are framed like according to the suitable responses, and the respondee can easily select from the options. Like there can be another situation, in some cases the participants are asked to rank a number of things in a preferential order. If you can recall, in unit 1 we have uh, done an activity in unit 1, that is branches of psychology and rank, or I think applications of psychology. So if you can recall that one, there is a preferential order, like you have to rank 1, 2, 3, like there are 11 branches and you have to rank them 1, 2, 3, etc., right? In such a way, that is also based one of the techniques used in questionnaire survey. The questionnaires is used to collect background information, demographic information. So what is the use of a questionnaire? It can be like background and demographic information. Where do you live? What is the age? What is your name? What is the primary contact? uh, how far is from a metro city. Like this one, you can collect the demographic information, and even like past behaviors. What did you study? How did you feel at the time of during the study? Likewise, you can ask the questions like, yesterday what did you do? How was your day? How are you planning for the things? Attitudes, opinions, all the ones which are the part of survey method. This technique, questionnaire technique, is useful, very useful. Sometimes a survey is conducted by sending the questionnaires by mail. That's what, as a postal way, and even email. There are new digital methods. If you go to supermarket, there will be devices of respondent devices. Like you can select an option, there will be feedback, right? These type of things, like how was your shopping experience, how was this teaching experience, you can rate it. The main problem of mail questionnaire is the poor response from the respondent. Yes, like if when it is live, if you can see the earlier one, like group. administrating on the group, like it is like live based. You can directly administer and get the responses then and there itself. But mailing the responses, there can be a difficulty, like the participant or the respondent may or may not respond very quick manner. Okay, and next next technique is telephone survey. Telephone survey, surveys are also conducted through telephone. Yes, telephone is a magical device today and very, very important device. So, in the earlier, it is like the wired phones are there and there are less cellular connectivities. And nowadays, you must have seen programs asking you to send your views through mobile phone SMS. Like nowadays, it is even these techniques are 5 to 5 years earlier. The survey based on the questions will be released, and you can choose the answers respond to that 000 number, 57373, etc. In that way, they may collect. Even there are the reality shows even today, like polling. For the response you can give a missed call, for a, and even like if you can see the social media, like share subscribe and comment and like. If you like, if you like, if it is yes, you respond as a comment, and if it is no, you can like this one. These are the types of surveys. We can see different techniques have evolved in surveys, and this is one such. The telephone survey helped in reducing time because this can be very quick than the questionnaires. However, since the respondents do not know the interviewer, the technique is fraught with uncooperativeness, reluctance, and superficial answers by the respondent. Maybe the method is may not give you the exact results, but it is also useful. But you cannot expect uh, the quality as like in the personal interview or questionnaire method. That's what they say. There is also a possibility that those responding may differ from those not responding. Example on age, gender, income levels, education levels, etc. Besides their psychological characteristics. As it is like telephone, you may not know the completely, but you can get the overall opinion, but it is not 100% accurate and helping. There will be difference on the way the people respond. This will lead to very biased kinds of results. And as it is like income level, there can be some differences. The results can also be differed. The method of observation have been discussed earlier. Like this is what the telephone survey is. Here, uh, let me take. There is the third technique, like controlled observation. Here, the technique other way is observation have been discussed earlier, like if you can participant observation, non-participant observation. There are other techniques in observation, like controlled observation. There will be other techniques, right? If you can recall in the earlier sessions, you have this observational method for conducting surveys. Each method has its own advantages and limitations. The researchers need to exercise caution in selecting a particular method. Okay, so based on the conditions, what type of inquiry you are using, like whether it is like opinion based or particularly student based on a very clear information, you can take administer method. If you want the results to be more accurate, you can go to the experimental method. If it is like a group based one, you can go for an experimental group and controlled group. You can also select the observation method, participant way and non-participant. Personal interview, if you are selecting an employee, if you want to know something about the person, you can use personal interview method. There can be like on a large scale basis, there can be questionnaire surveys or telephone surveys. If there is a confined group, you can go for a telephone survey. All these are methods you have to select according to the need of the particular researcher or the reviewer or the interviewer, whatever you call. The survey method has several advantages. The information can be gathered quickly, efficiently from thousands of persons. Like as I said, this for contacting large number of groups, you can use this survey method. Second, since surveys can be conducted quickly, public opinions on new issues can be obtained almost as soon as the issue arises. Like now, the flood situation is going on. There is a pandemic situation going on. There can be elections. There can be countrywide protests. All these things are like opinion on an exam, national exam, like NEET has been discussed. There will be some political issues. Like why these type of things will be easily, simply can be obtained by doing a survey method. There are some limitations. These are the advantages. There are some limitations of a survey tool. For first, people may give inaccurate information. Like the reviewer or interview will not be available face to face. In some techniques, like the answers can be manipulated. There can be memory lapses if it is like you are doing survey on formation of a new state, like it like earlier or historical issues, like there can be memory lapses, right? You may not know what your great grandfather, his likings, his dislikes, his lifestyle and all, great grandfather, like you may not know it, right? So that's how. And may not want the researcher know what they really believe. If that is a political situation, definitely it is really difficult. The people may not be likely to respond, and particularly they may hide facts. They really believe about the particular issue. Second, people sometimes offer responses they think the researcher wants to hear. Like it is a bias, completely biased. The researcher has influence on the respondent, and the responses may be biased. Like on the first one, they may not respond properly. In the second disadvantage, they may respond according to the needs of research. This is how it goes, and these are the three techniques we discussed today, along with the personal interviews yesterday. And there is an activity, if you can see here, the activity 2.3. An investigator wants to study people's attitude towards welfare programs by circulating a questionnaire via internet. Is the study likely to reflect the views of general population accurately? Why or why not? Here, as we discussed the survey method, here the activity is related to that, and particularly we have discussed an example in survey method, like a newspaper political based one, and regarding the happiness. And now even it is like a program, like a government will launch a program for different programs will be launched. Like you can say a welfare program like pension scheme, like health management scheme, insurance scheme. There can be midday meal scheme, etc. There are several welfare programs, Dwakra programs, etc. You may just discuss this, just study. There can be a questionnaire. You can see the questionnaire from the internet. You can create a questionnaire and you can study this. And you have to reflect the views of whether you have to have, like you may ask some people via telephone, via questionnaire method. As the already questionnaire is done, you can take an interview and get the opinion how this welfare program is performing, either whether it is uh, meeting the needs of the benefitor, the end user. Okay, whether it is for the welfare of the people. All these things can be survey used by technique, and you can see what the opinion, what is the attitude towards the program. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages, which method you used, and how you can do this one. Okay, next. So far that is the you can say we have discussed. We have closed this survey method. There are four techniques, that is a telephone technique, personal interview, structured, unstructured, observational method. Observation technique also can be used in survey. Like a controlled group, you can administer a questionnaire to the group, like observe what they are doing. Like you can administer in that way. Telephone method, even the closed-ended questionnaire, open-ended questionnaire in the questionnaire survey technique. All these techniques and the methods which we are doing, which we have dealt so far, you can discuss them and choose whichever is best suits for gathering information and understanding the behavior of human being. This is the main motto of any psychological inquiry. You have to get the information, whichever method you want to use, you can do that, but ultimately you have to know what the information is, and that should be an useful information. If you have any queries, you can write to that. And thank you so much for your uh, participation. We shall meet in the next session.